Welcome back to another week on the Roar Rundown. Ouachita had a winning week, and we are excited to tell you about it.
Ouachita's softball team fought hard this weekend in their 4 games. On Friday, the Lady Tigers struggled to hit the pitching from Missouri Western State University and fell 4-2 in Game 1, as well as William Jewell College 7-0 in Game 2. They also lost a close game against the University of Missouri St. Louis on Saturday 2-1. But the Lady Tigers won Sunday 6-3 against Northeastern State University. Freshman Madison Miller hit a 3-run home run in the second inning to secure the lead. The softball team will start conference play this weekend, hosting Arkansas at Monticello.
The baseball team started things off on Wednesday against the University of the Ozarks. After scoring 7 runs with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning, the Tigers held on to win 9-7 and improved to 4-3 on the season. This weekend, the Tigers opened up conference at home against Arkansas Tech. The Wonder Boys got the best of the Tigers on Saturday, winning the first game 15-2 and the second 8-0. On Sunday, the Tigers came to life offensively and outscored Arkansas Tech 9-8 to gain their first win in conference. Take a look back at a few highlights from the win.
The full count here with an out. Ball 4, and that'll tie this ball game at 3 apiece, as Stewart will go down to first. Next pitch. Swung on, it's a single up the middle. They're waving around Logan Honeycutt. It's going to be a play at the plate. Instead, they'll cut it off, and Aaron Studdard has a big RBI single to play 2 runs and put the Tigers up. A run? Hits it. It's going back. It's up, and it's a 3-run home run for Louis Steen, and it's an 8-3 ball game. Louis Steen missed one earlier, but he gets it up there and over this time. And that one will join Peter Pan and the Lost Boys, because it is not coming back. It's 8-3, the Tigers lead. It's a ground ball hit to the shortstop, or excuse me, the third baseman. He makes a great play on it. Louis Steen hustling to first. It's going to get by. We're going to have a runner come in safely, and that's going to be it. It's 9-8. The go-ahead run has come across for Ouachita, and they're leading on an errant throw by the second baseman, Thompson. Nearing the warning track in center field. Wade, the first pitch to post. Swung on, ground ball to Aaron Studdard. He stays down on it. Will throw to first. And that's the out. The Tigers win 9-8. Carter Wade will get the win.
The Tigers play next against Texas A&M Texarkana on Tuesday and on the road against Arkansas Monticello this weekend.
The Ouachita basketball teams played against Henderson State University on Thursday, but neither team was able to hang on as the Reddies won 75-62 in the women's game and 68-65 in the men's. However, Saturday began a winning streak for both teams as the women defeated Southern Arkansas 63-59, while the men upset the number 2 team in conference 68-57. Senior Malin Martin scored his 1,000th career point in the game and finished the night with 26 points. Here's some of the highlights from the games.
You almost wonder, though, do you find a player to foul? No, Britton comes up with a basketball. Got to stay in control. Out to Clay. Clay back to Britton to Huell. Huell drives, goes up, hits the basket. Olivia Huell hits the basket. Ouachita's on one right now. Martin, he wants that 3-point line. Now he's going to drive in. No look pass underneath the Ward. Reverse layup. Where in the world did this come from for Matthew Ward? You know, both sides have got to be just gasping for air. Martin up top. Martin drops it down. Martin drops it down. He has 17, and he has just hit 1,000 for his career. Needs help. A double screen set there for him. Martin wants to shoot it. He hits it. He's on fire!
Both teams will travel to Oklahoma this weekend and play Northwestern Oklahoma State University Thursday and Southwestern Oklahoma State University on Saturday. On a different note, Ouachita's football team is excited for its 2019 recruiting class. I had an opportunity to talk with Luke Robertson to gain some more insight on the recruits. Hey guys, I'm here with Luke Robertson, the digital content director for the Ouachita football team. We've got quite a few recruits, 37 I believe, that have signed with Ouachita this year. How excited are you about the upcoming class, Luke?
Yeah, I think I'm super excited. It's fun. I kind of get a different perspective because I make the guys look good on social media, and I think this is going to be an easy class to do that. You have guys who are going to come into a team that's back-to-back Great American Conference champions, and you have freshmen who are right out of the gate. A lot of them may get some playing time. I think it's another great recruiting class. I think it's easy to say that this was another top recruiting class in the Great American Conference, and another top one in the state of Arkansas.
Yeah, well, let's go through some of those guys. We got 37 total guys, 27 of which are from Arkansas, 2 from Louisiana, 6 from Texas, and 1 from Tennessee. And so, there's a lot of guys from all over, which is exciting. But we'll start off with the 6 defensive backs that we got: Andrew Hayes, Caleb Scott, Jay Beasley, Seth McDowell. Can you talk a little bit about Dante Gibson?
Yeah, so Dante Gibson is a 6 foot, 182 pound. He played running back in high school. He played both sides of the ball. He's coming in to play DB. Once again, he's 6 foot tall, 182 pounds. He ran a 4.51 40 time, and his squat is 365. So for a DB, to be able to get that thrust that you need, just make those layout tackles, and as a running back, just the explosive ability that he had is very evident. This is a great pickup for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. He has an opportunity to come in and get some playing time automatically, as well as Kenta Jones. You can talk a little bit about him, both of them defensive backs.
Yeah, Kenta is another one of those guys who played offense and defense. He played at Marion High School. His film is not only riddled with just these layout tackles, but also a handful of interceptions. One of the things to keep in mind is the Tigers defensively only lost one starter, and that's Ernest Reed on the D line. And so 2 guys who are DBs who have a chance to fight for playing time this year. I mean, this stout Ouachita defense that was the best really we've ever seen it. Is getting so many new guys, so many new good guys who right out of the gate are going to compete for playing time, and it's just going to keep pushing Coach Thompson's defense just to the next level. And it was already there. The defense was already stout. So I'm so excited to see these guys hit the field this summer.
Yeah, and those are the defensive backs. Also, we got 6 new defensive linemen. You've got Nate Zeller, Noah Pruitt, Oscar Pinedo, Romello Kaysen, Rovell Carter, as well as Clark Yarbrough Jr. That's a good find for Ouachita, isn't it, Luke?
Yeah. Clark Yarbrough is 6'1". He's coming from Saxe High School, just north of Dallas. He played 6A football in Texas, and man, he could manhandle some 6A offensive linemen. His bench was 230 pounds. He could squat 375. I think one of the things when we were talking about Clark was it was almost unfair to watch him against some offensive linemen. His first highlight right away in his highlight film from his senior year was he pushes the center back into the quarterback for a safety. Yeah. And that just shows the physicality of Clark. He's coming on to the Ouachita defensive line that did lose a starter in Ernest Reed. And so not only is he going to be competing against some guys who've been here for a while, but he's going to be competing in a spot where there are openings.
We also got 5 linebackers: Andrew Robertson, Brock Howard, Karsten Johnson, Dawson Miller, and Josh Wallace, as well as 5 offensive linemen: Garner Hodge, Jeremy Boone, Matthew Bowser, and then the other Matthew Howard, and then as well as Zach Henson. And Zach Henson, you got a story on him as well.
Zach Henson is from Alma High School. He is 6'4" and 270 pounds. He's going to be joining an offensive line that over the past couple years is getting really tall. And the addition of a 6'4" offensive lineman, Austin Blair, because of his injury earlier in the season, is coming back for the Tigers. So we're not losing as many offensive linemen as we originally thought we would be. But Zach Henson is a great pickup. His squat is 465 pounds. And I think the thing that stuck out to me was he has a 5'1" 40 time. Yeah. For an offensive lineman is really impressive, especially that's helpful in an offensive lineman in a very run-heavy offense like Ouachita boasts. Really is what makes Ouachita football. And so Zach Henson is a great pickup, a great fast big offensive linemen.
Yeah, and he could really take it to the next level for Ouachita
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
And they're already at that next level, but
Yeah.
I mean, who says that they can't take it any higher? There is no
Absolutely.
ceiling for this Ouachita
Absolutely.
Tiger football team. We'll go next to the wide receivers on the offensive side. 6 wide receivers recruited. You've got Dylan Clayton, John Williams, Cameron Woods, TJ Lewis, Tucker Swoboda, whose brother already is on the team for Ouachita, as well as Kimontre McKnight, who could really come in and have some immediate feedback.
Kimontre is from Warren High School. He is a quick wide receiver. He ran a 4.42 40. But here's what is impressive is his physicality. And his physicality stems from just how strong of a wide receiver he is. He has a 415-pound squat and a 265-pound bench. That's rivaling some of the offensive linemen who are already on the team and who are being recruited to play for the team. I definitely think he's going to get some time. It's easier for wide receivers, especially younger wide receivers, to come in and possibly get some time. Especially, we're losing a couple of wide receivers, a couple star wide receivers too. And so that's the offensive side of the ball, especially our wide receiver core, is going to be interesting to watch this year.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, and Ouachita also, with Braden, that kind of segues us into the 3 quarterbacks that were recruited for Ouachita: Grant Allen, Nate Hayden, and Taylor Gillum. And there's no telling if they don't get a little bit of playing time as well, and hopefully he stays healthy as well, and that Braden does not get hurt or any injuries. But that sets you up for the future. You've got to think long mindset as well.
Yeah.
And so we also recruited for Ouachita 1 running back, Dawson Dabbs. You're losing KO as well, who's graduating. But there's some guys this year with Ouachita who were reserves. Brockton Brown had the most touchdowns on the team this year for Ouachita, and he came in some big plays as well, especially against Henderson. Got to throw that in there. But let's take a quick segue over to the kicking side with the 2 kickers that were recruited. You're losing Cole Antley this year as he's graduating out. You've recruited Mason Martin and Gabe Goodman. And Goodman, a 2-time state champion, just playing here at home, and he gets to stay here at home in Arkadelphia.
Yeah, so Gabe is from Arkadelphia High School, as most know, are back-to-back state champions. Gabe this year went 125 for 128 on PATs and 22 for 30 on field goals with a 41-yard long. And Gabe, coming in as a freshman, probably going to get some immediate starting time. I think there's going to be a good fight between Mason Martin and Gabe, for who's going to claim that starting spot, which is going to push both of those players to be better. But Gabe, his high school stats are impressive, and that really leads us into the 2 long snappers that Ouachita picked up as well. Yeah,
Trey Flint and Kyle Gassaway. And so, you're graduating years this year, but Kyle Gassaway could really come in and have some immediate impact as well.
Yeah, so Ouachita's losing Chris Hayes, who played a little bit of Ouachita football and then left the team, but then jumped back again this year to win his first Great American Conference championship. But Kyle Gassaway is a great pickup. This is what kind of astonished me. As a high school senior, he went 114 for 114 on long snaps.
Can't be more perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Coach Knight always talks about their 3 phases of football. You have offense, defense, and you have special teams. And so often colleges forget special teams, but the only way to win a football game is to win all 3 phases. Yep. And pretty much every single special teams play starts with a deep snap, with a long snap, whether it's a field goal or a punt. You're snapping back to one of the best punters in college football, in Jake Ford, and to a good new kicker, whether that be Mason or whether that be Gabe, and so to have a consistent deep snapper who can really fire the ball back is so important for a football team. You got to win in all 3 phases, and I really think that Kyle is going to help the Tigers do that.
Well, that's awesome, and that's what we have for you today, all of the recruits. But thank you, Luke, for giving us a lot more insight on that. And Ouachita football is pretty excited for the next year. Well, we definitely cannot wait for the recruits to get here next year, but that's all we have for you this week.
Don't forget to follow us on social media at The Roar Rundown. We'll see you next week.